Hi, everybody. Charlie here. This week on the Cherry Podcast, we look at a few of your questions from the Facebook group, like should you buy unlicensed cards? We also look at some of the new things that Josh Luber said about Fanatics cards on the Sports Car Nonsense podcast, and we talk about our trip to the Mint Collective in Las Vegas in January. Thanks for listening, everybody, and we'll see you on the next episode. Bye.
It's the Hobby Chat G. It usually happens on Thursday, and then it usually happens on Friday anyway, as well. There's not very much to talk about, but there is a few good topics. We'll let a few people join in before we do.
How do Card Talk Pod get it so consistently on time, well produced, and is it me?
It's a factor. It's a factor.
Well, you know that I was bitten by a wasp this week.
Yes, you were bitten by a wasp. Grayson was bitten by a wasp. He claims he was bitten by a wasp this week.
Mid-meeting?
In the middle of a meeting, which he phoned into from fishing. Yeah.
And Dale told me that the only way that I could stop the poison from spreading was to piss on myself.
Yeah.
Or have someone else piss on me.
Yep. Which you weren't able to do.
No, I did ask the bloke. He was horrified. Gave him Dale's number. Told him that he is quite slow to respond to DMs.
Shout out to Dale's DMs. Always full. Black Friday specials are live at Cherry before we get underway. Black Friday specials are live. You will see them on the first banner when you drop onto the website, so you can click through. You can see all these specials. There's some really good ones in there.
I hate Black Friday.
Why? You just don't like to see all the deals?
I don't know. Am I too old? I don't know. It frustrates me.
I don't like how it's basically become, like November is black, like November now. Everybody just goes early. They go a week early. They go 3 weeks early. But you'll check it. You can see those specials. There's also a special on brakes. You can use the code 30brakes for 30% off, which is large. All group brakes at the moment, except for the 24-hour charity stream ones, of course.
Today only.
Today only, yeah, ends tonight. So if you haven't already, if you want to get into a brake for today, or probably some of them are into next week, you can use that code today. Now, the first topic, the one that really got everybody talking this week on Facebook was the Lebron Isaiah Stewart. Isaiah and Lebron fight.
It wasn't a fight.
Well, it should have been. I was like, I am all about Isaiah just giving LeBron a big right cross for what he did, because you saw how much blood it produced. He's cut him above the eyebrow, and this cannot go unchallenged.
Well, real men don't bleed. We'll start there. Nothing, as soon as someone grabs you, none of that counts towards fighting back. Because once someone's holding on to you and you know that a fight is not going to ensue, that isn't tough. That's just weak. And the fact that probably he had to go on LeBron before the blood started pouring out of him.
No, he became more incensed when he saw that there was all this blood coming out.
Yeah.
And so then he had to go.
I've seen people get smacked around the head for about 4 rounds in the octagon and not bleed.
Yeah, that's true.
He opened up far too quickly.
Yeah, he did, yeah.
And it's not so much the fact that he actually isn't tough. He's pretend tough. Because he ran like Naruto.
Yeah, he did.
When he had about 17 people holding on to him. It's the fact that, unfortunately, our GMs have been hit up this week with people wanting to buy Isaiah Stewart cards.
Oh, really?
And it's And it's if he actually retaliated immediately, and we were like, man, this guy's got some going in. This is just like, you know, you watch how Magic retaliated, or let's say Thomas, or you watch how some of these guys retaliate. Even Joel Embiid, like when he ruined Cat's whole season, like you know the people that have got real grit in them, and this guy he's an average size center. He scores 7 points a game. Ooh. He's rubbish. Just his cards are never going to be high. If you've got them, sell them. He's no good.
Okay.
No heart.
Well, I don't know. Anyway, I thought it was good. I did think the most hilarious thing was Russell Westbrook right on the far right of the frame, being very feebly held by some trainer or someone in a mask, and he's basically like in a pose like this, nowhere near any of the action, but he looked like a little Ninja Turtle, ready to throw down. Nobody was anywhere near Russell Westbrook. Jesus, it looked funny. There is a frame out there from the fight where he just looks hilarious. Like, Russell, what are you doing? There's no fight over there. But he's like, no, I'm ready.
If a fight ensued, let's just say that things changed differently. Isaiah Stewart was a man, and he fought back straight away. LeBron would annihilate him.
You reckon?
Oh, it would be horrendous, the beating that he'd cop. I would have thought. LeBron's got so much pride, and he's got so much going in that I feel like it would just be over so quickly.
Yeah, probably. Well, he's the king. New Chronicles yesterday. We have it. It's finally, going out to everybody. It busted in the breaks. It looked pretty cool. There were a few nice ones came out. Fortunately, a little damaged. Devin Booker 101, but that should be able to get fixed up.
Will be fixed.
What's your thoughts on Chronicles?
Massively undersold.
Really?
Yeah, really undersold.
It was huge last year.
Last year was the first year that they had a number of different retail SKUs of it, and I think people got caught up into it. Actually, the price went up very fast last year, and then just crashed because people saw the amount of each of the cars that were being produced, which I still think is low compared to some sets. But this year, people were very hesitant. There was some. It's obviously a poor time in the year to release a product like this because it's a new season. The interest was low, but we had, as soon as people saw it, a real surge of orders. So I think that if people have been looking around for a box that is going to give them a really fun experience with some really cool cards in it, and the titaniums have never looked better. The Honors set, people are loving.
Yeah.
I think it's National Pride or something.
The Honors ones really stand out, and the Hometown Heroes again. I saw the Lebron of both of those, and very nice.
So I think that the price it's at is last year's was around 1,000 or 1,200 at this point.
Yeah,
and to put that in perspective, in most other products that are releasing, like one-on-one basketball, is higher now than what it was product for product last year.
Right.
So this is half the price of product for product last year.
Wow.
So, it's the same crop. We saw Antman yesterday. Like, he is ahead of every expectation I had of him.
Yeah, that is feeling like the Timberwolves are like kind of a cool team at the moment. That dunk was out of control. I think the ring was like at elbow.
Yeah.
At the elbow, and it got disallowed. I think the dunk eventually.
Did it?
Yeah, I think they called offensive foul and disallowed. Yeah.
That's almost as bad as that bloke walking in.
Yeah, much like the Ja Morant from last year, although the Ja didn't go in. But yeah, that was nuts, that dunk.
Whatever, they have to change that rule. Whatever that rule is, that prevents that from being a scoring shot, needs to go.
Yeah. Like, in this circumstance is always an offensive foul unless the dunk was really fucking amazing.
Yeah.
Like, oh, well, that's obviously, we have to count that.
You just got to check the guy under the rings digital photos.
Yeah.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah.
That's a poster.
Yeah.
It's interesting the way that rules impact the kind of history. And you talk about, everyone was tougher in Jordan's day and like they would knock it all sort of shit. But someone mentioned, we were chatting the other day with the guys from Pool Wax.
Yes.
Big Ben fan. Big Ben fan. That's weird to say.
Yeah.
And you look at a guy like Big Ben, who, if they'd had the pass interference rule when he was throwing, 80-yard bombs back through the first sort of part of his career, the amount more touchdowns or more games in particular they would have won.
Yeah.
Just from pass interference calls. But I think the NFL have got it right. You need to reward scoring because scoring is what people really enjoy.
Yeah, that's true. And I've noticed this year there's a lot of those fouls getting called where someone like a James Harden is trying to milk it. There's a lot more of that occurring. I don't know if that's going to keep occurring, but often James Harden's probably one of the most famous for it. But a Trae Young, someone like that. He'll get the little slap and he'll start looking around. Where's my foul? It's not happening. I like that. I like that the refs are trying to stamp a little bit of that out.
Yeah, well, no one likes it.
Yeah.
And I think both those guys only do it because they know how important it is to win.
Oh, exactly. Yeah, I don't blame them for doing it.
They'll stop.
Yeah. Now, next up, we have, talking to Pool Wax, we have booked in a trip. January to the Mint Collective in Las Vegas, which is an amazing looking new, it's a conference. It's got like speakers, it's got panels. It also has a card market at it as well.
Yeah, it's really cool.
It's going to have, I think we've got Dana White there one day. So you get to meet Dana, maybe.
Could be a relative, yeah.
Yep. Yeah, he might be. Probably not. It's got Josh Luber there eventually.
Did you see Dana White eat that $1 pizza?
No.
Of the Barstool Presidente?
Oh, really?
Yeah, he ate a piece of it and reviewed it. It was really good. Check it out, Johnson.
Yeah, so the Mint Collective, brand new sort of card conference. It's all about, developing, whether it's if you've got a card store, there's panels on that, breaking business, creating your content, all of that sort of panels on that, and then a card market. I think there's some auctions.
Head of Beckett, Jeremy Murray's talking there.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Josh Luber dropping in.
I wouldn't be surprised to see like DJ from Panini, maybe even Nat from PSA potentially talk there.
They'd have to be sending somebody, wouldn't they? All of those Panini tops. So they'd have to be.
I feel like this is because the previous sort of ones have been quite fragmented in recent years. I feel like this is going to be something that everyone wants to be at, and of course, we were holding out.
Yeah, you were like, I don't want to do it.
I wanted to see more money on the table.
Yeah.
And so, I needed my team, my guy to look at it, to go through the numbers. My guy's just Blake with glasses on. But he does do up quite all right with glasses on.
Yeah.
And he did like 6 months of a law degree, I think.
Yeah, he did, yeah.
So, I don't know.
Or at least clever enough.
He can get you out of a parking ticket, okay? But if you assault someone, probably call,
Yeah, definitely.
legitimate.
Call someone else.
Yeah, so no, I did wait for them to offer me money and then they didn't, so I just begged.
Yep.
So that'll be fun.
Well, I'm excited about it because, it's a trip over to the States, it's Las Vegas, it's cards, and it's being in the room with, the opportunity to be in the room with all of these people in that space that is the most important thing.
Yeah. I just want to catch up with my mate David Reel.
And could we have a few days in California on the way home?
We could.
To see someone like Burbank.
Burbank.
Yep.
You want to go to Cards and Coffee?
Yes. We should go and see that.
We'll go and see Sports Store 2, which is Michael Ant. Of course, that's Jeff Garland's favourite store in LA.
Oh, I thought he's always at Burbank, but he likes that.
No, he started going to Burbank, but his sports store, I think it's Sports Store, something like that.
Okay.
In LA, that's his store. That's where he got christened.
Yeah, okay. That's the one that he keeps on the DL.
Let us know in the comments if there's anywhere we should go, any secret stores in that either LA or Las Vegas.
Yeah, so Las Vegas, that is the 20, we'll be there at the end of January, isn't it? 28, 29, 30, I think.
Yep.
There's those dates. So that's going to be fantastic. If you want to meet up, if you're going, give us a message to the DMs, and we'll love to meet you over there. Love to meet. It's going to be crazy few days over there, I think.
Might do like a signing session, $15 or something, an auto. No?
Maybe free.
Maybe.
Maybe it doesn't know.
Maybe.
Do you want one? Do you want an autograph? No, not really. Now, I don't know how Sports Card Nonsense managed this. Obviously, they hold a lot of weight. They've got a Spotify deal.
What?
Yeah. They got a little Spotify logo in there. Oh, they don't have dudes walk in and ask about balustrades. Probably. They talked to Josh Luber.
Who does that?
This week. I don't know, man. Crazy old boomers. They actually had an interview with Josh Luber, and he said a couple of interesting things. Because, we've got his report, his fantastic report that he wrote a couple of, about a month ago now, wasn't it? Make Cards Cool Again? Jeez, no, it was Cards Are Cool Again. But they managed to get him down on a couple of Fanatics related things. One of them was that there will likely be no Fanatics branded cards. Now, I'm not sure if that means there's literally going to be no, like you're opening a box of cards that are called Fanatics. Like this is the Donruss box, and this is the box of Hoops, and this is a box of Fanatics. So he's saying there's not a plan at the moment anyway to make Fanatics branded cards. So it might be that that's not happening, and they're looking instead to purchase existing brands. That was another thing that was alluded to in the interview, that they are currently, he and his team are actively engaging existing brands, your Tops, Upper Decks, Paninis, I suppose, for acquisition. Either buy them outright, or does Josh Luber's new company give them a license?
Yeah, well, I mean, that's what you would expect someone who was going to make Fanatics branded cards to say.
Yeah, that's true. It doesn't follow with the rest of the Fanatics business plan, because everything that if you buy a jersey from Fanatics, it's Fanatics on the tag. Same with coffee mugs, stuff like that. So I don't know why they wouldn't do that with cards as well. Or is it, that they're going to call it their own Fanatics brand? They're going to call it, Brand X, and it's going to be 2026 copyright Fanatics at the bottom.
I think the biggest issue that we're kind of discussing here is that the Fanatics scenario, where they've got all the licenses, all the important licenses, is it's like 3 or 4 years away minimum.
Yes,
and so there's no, I wouldn't have thought many businesses at all would be talking about what they're doing in that time.
Yeah.
I think he's probably just talking about in the next 2 to 3 years, and in the next 2 to 3 years, well, no, they're going to be branded whichever company they buy.
Yeah.
And you have got to be kidding me. I'll be a moment.
Yeah, no worries. Another delivery coming in right now. So the other thing that they talked about in that Luber interview was the cards in more locations, going out to more retail stores. I think they are looking at, I guess, expanding that retail side of the card market. So they're really looking to make sure that cards are available, I think, in a lot more places, whether it's expanding the amount of stores that they go into. Certainly that means expanding the amount of retail product that gets printed. I was just mentioning, that the final sort of big takeaway from that Luber interview was a big expansion to both the Fanatics e-commerce of cards and making sure that people can get their hands on retail packs wherever they go, basically. That was the other big, which we've sort of assumed as soon as we heard this news, that, with the amount of money that they're putting in, they're just going to need to have cards everywhere. Yeah,
it's what they do best. Being everywhere is what they do best. So I think that's a no-brainer, and how that looks to our domestic market here, I think is going to be very different to how that looks to the domestic market in the US.
Yes,
we're a long way away. So, but at the end of the day, I mean, you're already seeing that with the specific SKUs that Panini and Topps are producing for retail, fast-moving consumer goods stores, that they're identifying what the demand is for that product, and it's the prices are not going stupid anymore.
No.
Donruss blasters, select blasters, they're still maybe 2 times their sort of suggested retail price, as opposed to where we were last year, which was 8 times, 7, 8 times.
Yeah.
So in 4 years, Panini's going to nail exactly what that demand is for the retail SKU consumer.
Yeah, certainly by then. I mean, we've already got evidence that they're dialing it in. So by that time they'll be right on the money, I'd imagine.
Yeah, by that time you're not going to have people sort of going into Walmart with backing up a 4x4 truck.
Yeah,
and sort of filling it up. They're going to be on the shelf, and you either buy it or you won't buy it, and it'll still be there tomorrow.
Yeah, exactly. All right, now the last one. This is a question from the Facebook group recently about, and it might have come up with regards to some of the Tyson Beck cards, because everybody was posting they just got some of their Johnruss cards, the beautiful Johnruss set that Tyson Beck did recently. And the question in the comments was, are we buying these for our PC to hold on to because we really dig it, and obviously the art is tremendous, or can we buy these as an investment, sit on them, and in 5 years, in 10 years, these are a card that, like Leaf cards, for example, another unlicensed hits in there. I know I've got some. I've got a Hogan auto. I've got some Flair autos. It's just the person has decided to do cards with them, but it's not, a WWE official card or an NBA official card.
I think that it's a little bit like the kind of the Gary V NFT mentality, that there's this very small percentage that are going to be incredibly successful and great investments.
Yeah. And
the rest of them are going to just go to zero.
Yeah.
The reality is that, and you speak to a lot of the guys, I had dinner once with a guy who was one of the very few people that was would work with Kobe to get his autograph.
Yep.
And he worked with a lot of different celebrities, assets to get their autographs. And I asked him about the ones that were really like hard to come by. And I'll get it wrong, but I'm pretty sure it was Julie Andrews. He mentioned just never signs. And so that was kind of like the holy grail for him.
Okay.
And I think that there's certain things where you get a guy like Brian Gray who is so well connected and so passionate and understands the process of what you can make, how you can make it. He understands all the print technologies. He understands what the market wants. So he can produce a product that is absolutely an investable product.
Yes.
And then if that crosses over with a guy he gets to sign, maybe it's Batfleck, and Batfleck, relapses, and so he never signs again.
Yeah.
In those instances, I think you're going to have an investable card.
Yep.
In 99% of them, no. So I would stick with like a Brian Gray.
Yeah.
Because of his proven performance. And I'll preface it because we're speaking from an over 40s sort of perspective, but every single collection that comes in for sale at Cherry has a Shaquille O'Neal card with a gold foil shiny signature, and there's so many different ones of it. And every single person bought it or traded for it.
Yeah, okay.
So there's something about the mentality when you're in your early teens where you absolutely want the unlicensed card.
Yeah. Well, you just like, I love Giannis.
Yeah.
If we're doing Tyson Bell, I love Giannis. He's doing the Steph Curry one.
Yeah.
I love Patty Mills, and I don't care. If it's got him on it, I need that card.
Yeah. Find another Patty Mills Australian Olympic jersey autograph.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So that is a truly limited piece.
Yeah, exactly right. Patty Mills, there's actually a petition at the moment on Twitter to get Patty Mills in the 3-point shootout at the All-Star game. He hasn't been in one yet.
Okay.
He's fifth, I think ranked fifth so far in three-pointers.
Surely they've been like 70 people in the last one.
I know, and he's killing it in Brooklyn at the moment.
There was someone in the last 3-point competition who never struck me as a 3-point player. I can't remember who it was though. That's a shit story. I apologise.
Well, that's all our topics. Let's have a look at some of your questions and we'll see if we can get through them. I've got to read these sideways. Card culture.
I like card culture.
Yeah, just down the road. With more retail product coming, do you think that hobby exclusive inserts will demand more premium and separate retail to hobby?
Already do. Then there's a couple of occasions where there's a retail insert, like a blank slate. We just got 3 blank slates back from PSA, all 10s.
Oh, wow.
Beautiful insert.
Yep.
Will it continue to separate them? Yes. Hobby, gold prisms, perfect example. You can have as many retail prisms numbered to less than 10, and they will never be within a cooey of a hobby gold prism.
Yeah.
So numbering isn't everything, and just for everyone out there who is interested, one of the equations that we use internally when we're looking to buy short prints, particularly unnumbered ones and particularly inserts, is you work out the cost of that insert being pulled, so a specific insert being pulled, and then you use that cost against another similar insert. So hypothetically, this is wrong.
Yeah, how do you calculate it?
So once you work out approximately how many boxes are produced, which is normally around there's normally around 2,000 to 3,000 cases.
Yep.
times that by the amount of boxes in a case, and then you work out if that insert's 1 per case or 1 per 10 cases, or however many it is, and then you work out how many inserts are in that set on the checklist.
Yep.
So you end up going divided by.
Mm.
Let's just say with a card like a blank slate, you might end up with like there might be 50 of each.
Yep.
And then you compare that, so that cost might have been like $750,000 to get that particular blank slate.
Like that's how much product you'd have to go through.
To open, yeah.
Yeah.
And then you compare that against the kaboom. The kaboom might be like $30,000 worth of product to get the kaboom.
Yep.
And then you look at their secondary market values and compare them. So that is where you start to see why hobby cards cost more, because that equation has them up way, 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 way higher.
Yeah, yeah. That's an interesting one. That'll be a good one for a clip. From Khaled, will you be getting Skybox Metal Gems boxes?
Question for Khaled, will you be selling me your Kazmat Chiamev? I can't even get his name right.
Is that who hit it?
Yes, from what I hear.
Okay.
He hit a gold rookie. Speaking of gold variants, he hit a gold rated rookie of
That's a nice
Kazmat.
Mm.
And that would be, in 2 years, I think, one of the best, outside of his prison. I don't know if he's in prison. One of the best cards.
Is he a big deal?
People think that he can take over the whole UFC.
Wow. Do his mates call him Hazmat? That's what I want to know.
Yeah, Putin does.
From Nick, do you think card value and hype will maintain, or everyone spending on rookies now will lose in 5 years? You certainly got to be careful with rookies.
Yeah, rookies, absolutely.
Yeah.
I think hype is interesting too. Hype and demand, I think, are different. I think there's been a huge amount of hype around this for a period of time, and it's brought a huge amount of people into it that have been looking for a very quick turnaround.
Yep.
Which, in instances, you can get, but if you go back through all of our videos, the one thing that I've preached all along is that if you're buying these rookies, you have to wait 2 years, because nothing happens in the first 2 years.
Yeah. What happened with LeBron?
Well, there's some exceptions. LeBron might have been one. But even a Luka's stuff took 2 years to even start to get warm. Giannis stuff took about 3 or 4 years to get warm. Curry's stuff took 4 or 5 years to get warm.
Yep.
And these all got warm, besides Luka, but those others got warm before the massive pump.
Yep.
So definitely you need to be patient. What are the rookie cards going to be like in 5 years? Same they've always been 5 years after. Except for 2 of those players, the rest of them will be not worthless, but very sentimental value only.
Yeah.
Or as a hit in a cherry variant pack for $5 on the website.
Yeah. Yeah. From Dan How Cards. Will game-worn, game-used cards for rookies return next year? Will they just be napkins from now on because of COVID?
Does he actually mean napkins?
Yeah, I don't know. No, I don't think so. Or like coaster.
Will they return? There's no way they can build them into product. They don't get enough material. So I think they'll return. They'll probably be if at the moment they might be in like one product, flawless.
Yeah.
And maybe a very small smattering of other products. But I think that there's a couple of things. One is that the process by which they're actually placed into the cards is so hands-on, and I don't think there's like a certain process. I think accountability in that process is very hard. Like you can maybe sack that person, but they're not necessarily on. They're not retiring on their salary.
No.
So I feel like there's been some maybe legal pressure around the wording on the cards.
Right.
And so I think what you're going to find is that companies like Panini and Topps are going to go, we're not going to go down the path of constantly having to get our lawyers involved because of the wording on the back of the card.
Yeah.
So this will be vague, and I think you'll end up finding that you get game used jerseys that are referred to as this could potentially be a napkin.
Yeah. Okay, here we go. Let's take a couple more questions. Here we go. Something about your favourite set. Donruss road to the World Cup. Over or underrated?
Oh,
Pre-tournament boxes haven't done well.
What?
I.e. Select Euro.
Select Euro's
He's
like
got an example.
Select Euro's like $700 a box.
Now.
Well, no, it was more.
Was
It dived. It duck dived. But it had no alarm.
Yeah.
It had the inserts were unknown. They had like one called like a missionary or something, which I think is for married people, but it's visionary.
Missionary.
It had the beautiful court sides, and it's got the tiger print in the hybrid version. But it had Sancho and Felix, both of them exceptionally talented, but not proven, particularly not proven at any world level, and no Messi. So it's still at like $600 or $700 a box, and harder to find.
Yeah, it is.
This product,
The Donruss road to the World Cup. Everybody.
Donruss Road to the World Cup, has the first true kaboom of Mbappe, potentially, should have. The first kaboom at all of Haaland.
Yes.
It's got the second true kaboom of Messi and of Ronaldo, and there hasn't been a kaboom of them released in a true hobby product. We just spoke about the difference between hobby products and others. There hasn't been one available since 2017-18, and I'll give you the tip. I broke down about 3 cases of it, maybe 4, because I got stuck with one that no one wanted. And it was the worst experience ever. I broke it down, and basically it was like just like setting fire to my money at the time. There was no interest at all in hitting that kaboom of Ronaldo or Messi at the time. There wasn't any. And like, I was deep into that case, and there was no thought in my mind that if I'm lucky enough to hit a Messi or Ronaldo here, that I'm going to save my bacon.
Yeah.
Wasn't the case. So this product, it's likely to have Messi's auto again, which we haven't had in a number of products. Obviously, it's going to have Ronaldo's auto, who's been quite prolific. It's got 25 rated rookie stamped cards, which we don't know who they're going to be yet. There are a few very young players on the world scene. One of Spain is quite good. So my feeling about it is that it's exceptionally underrated. I think it's going to settle in the pre-order sense around about the $500 to $700 a box Australian. So I think if you can pick it up now, and we've sold a lot of them already for under $300.
Yeah.
I think that if you've got one, I would hold.
Yep.
Because I wouldn't be trying to flip it too quickly. There will be a dip. There's always a dip. There was a dip 2018 World Cup Prism. It bottomed out. And then 2 years later, it was just like, write a check.
Yeah.
Write your own check.
Yeah, there we go. Okay, one more question. And then we will wind up for the day.
We've got merch coming soon too.
Oh, yeah. Can I share some of those pictures? Can I take little screenshots of them and put them in the Facebook group?
Cheeky.
Yeah?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Last question. It's, do you believe that interest in trading cards will ever take off to the same extent as in America? Trading cards?
I've actually been wondering about this, and I want to ask...
Because America is that's the home of cards.
Yeah. And I mean, I've been in America pre all of this, and I didn't see too much interest in trading cards walking around. But I'm interested to ask someone at Panini exactly where Australia sits in terms of pound for pound. Because, yeah, I don't know where we sit.
Well, I know from eBay numbers that Australia's number one with a bullet. In terms of
growth.
In growth, yeah, that's true. Yeah, sorry, in the growth category.
Yeah, I'd like to know pound for pound in terms of dollars to population.
Yeah,
where we sit, because I mean, surely it goes China, probably Taiwan.
Oh, for outside US.
US, no, probably even including US. I would have thought.
Oh wow.
Pound for pound, the US is massive.
Yep.
I don't know. We'll find out. Well, hopefully we'll find out.
Yeah, we'll be back over there. We'll be over there in January, which will be amazing.
It will be. It will be good. Celine Dion tickets? No.
Brittany?
Is she there at Las Vegas?
She was. I think she had like a weekly show at one of the places. Penn and Teller maybe.
You'd love that.
Yeah.
And
they're my favourites.
Chad Kroger. Is he there yet?
It'd be for you.
Is he there? He'd have to be there soon, wouldn't he?
Thank you, everybody, for watching. Thank you for the 2 interruptions that we got this morning. Tremendous. We managed to power through. We love you all tuning in. Go and check out the Black Friday specials. There's also a code for 30% off breaks. And on Monday, there'll be a code for 30% off all singles.
Oh.
So keep that in the back of your mind. If you've got a single that you've been looking at for a while, Monday will be the time to snipe.
That's going to hit different.
It will hit different. Dale will be like, what the fuck's going on? All these sales coming through.
All these singles will suddenly get taken on the website.
Yeah, which would be great.
Weep.
See you guys. Thank you, everybody. Bye.